Hey y'all, that's hello, how are you from Texas? I am, as promised, I said that I would start this YouTube channel on Tuesday, September 27th, 2022, and I kept my word. Here I am. You'll also notice that this is a pre-recorded message. I didn't go live because this is basically an introduction to the channel to give you some basic background information about it. So tonight's video is I'll again just be introducing the channel, introducing myself, the title, where it came from, the channel content. You will see me look off to the right often because I have notes. I need to keep myself on track, and so I'm mindful of your time as well as mine. So I'm not going to keep you long. Like I said, just the intro. So let me introduce myself. A lot of you are acquainted with me. My name is Charlotte English. I'm from Morganville, New Jersey. Morganville is in the house. I have been living in Texas for the past 18 and a half years. I have 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. I have 2 daughter-in-laws, a son-in-law. And I'm also the nana of 17 grands. One of them has gone on to be with the Lord. I'm a born-again believer, which means Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So you'll hear me talk about the word, which is the Bible. What that doesn't mean is that you have to be a Christian to listen to what I have to say or to watch the Hidden Woman YouTube channel. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because you never know. I might say something that's relevant to you. So let me add this. I don't have any sugar. I don't have any eggshells. So I won't be sugarcoating anything, and I'm not going to be walking on eggshells. I am being my authentic self. I'm very transparent. What you see is what you get. I have a sense of humor. I like to have fun. Also, I'm not here for this and the that. That's the likes and the dislikes. I'm actually on an assignment, and I'll share that with you in a moment. I'm going to say what I have to say without biting my tongue. So that's just where my real authentic self comes in. If you dislike or disagree with what I'm talking about, that's fine. No need to, as they say, come for me in the comments. You can just keep right on scrolling. There's plenty of YouTube channels that you can be watching. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you. If you don't like something that I say, you don't have to watch this, because there's lots of other stuff on that you could be looking at. I'm going to be sharing my story and my story alone. So if it seems at times like I'm holding back something, that means that my story might include some other people. I'm not here to tell their story. I'm here to tell my story. I'm not here to, and I'm going to be mindful of that as I go along. I may tell some stories. You will not hear me mention names, but if I say something about my son or my daughter, then you know I'm talking about one of my kids. But I'm not here to throw shade. I'm not here to shame anybody. I'm not above anybody. I'm not better than anybody else. I'm certainly not beneath anybody else. So I'm not here to be popping my neck and, popping my fingers and snapping my neck away, popping my neck and snapping my fingers. I'm not here for that. I'm just being me. Okay. So let's get this going. So now the title of the video is called The Hidden Woman Within. And how this name came about was a lot of years ago, more than 20 years ago, actually. I was in New Jersey, and I kept seeing this word hidden to the point where it's like, okay, what is going on? What is hidden? And so I'm making long story shorts for this intro. So one day I'm driving in Neptune, New Jersey, and beautiful back road, and the road is kind of windy. And so I am driving, and then I see the sign to the right of me, and I start to see the letters, and then I see the word hidden. And then as I drive just a little bit more, then I see the word driveway. So there's a sign that says hidden driveway. And of course, as I'm driving, the driveway was hidden. You couldn't see it from where I was. You couldn't see the driveway. So there's the sign. So I just said, what is this hidden all about? What is this? And the Lord impressed it in my spirit. He said, that's how people are. They're hiding. They're hiding. And so I kind of paid attention to it, really didn't give it a whole lot of thought. But basically I began to understand over time what that meant. So almost also let me say this. The title is The Hidden Woman Within, but this channel is by no means just for women because I have some content for men as well. Okay, so that's where the hidden woman came in. That's how it started, and then it began to evolve. So what the channel is basically about is me telling my story, what I've been through, not necessarily me telling you my business, but just sharing some of my life events, like how I came out of physical, emotional, and verbal abuse and dealing with drugs. Yes, I was dealing with drugs. So content like what life was like as a single parent. I'll be talking about marriage. I'll be talking about divorce, grandparenting, relationships, health, finances, personal growth, spiritual growth. And as I'm talking about this thing, I want to share something with you. Anybody that's better acquainted with me knows that I was married and was divorced, and you knew who my husband was. And so when you hear me talk about that, you'll probably automatically think she's talking about him. Not necessarily, because there's a lot of things that I'll be talking about marriage in general. As you know, overall, I was married for over 25 years. So I think I got something to say about marriage. So I'm going to share this little tidbit with you. Not that I feel like that I have to, but I want to share it. So a lot of you know that Clint, who was my husband, passed away last year. Prior to his passing, I called him to mention to him that I was going to start a YouTube channel. I wanted him to know. I didn't want him to be surprised that, oh, she's talking about marriage or something like that. We were on speaking terms. And so we were able to have that conversation. And I said to him, of course, when I'm talking about marriage and divorce, people are going to know that I'm talking about us to an extent. And he said, Charlotte, people are going to say what they want to say, do what they want to do, and think what they want to think. So you do what you got to do. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to, again, share my story. And I'm not here to throw him under the bus. If anybody going to get thrown under the bus, it might just be me. But anyway, that's what I'll be discussing, a lot of those different things. Because of the content that I'll be sharing, let me give you some disclaimers. I talked about sharing finances and health and whatnot like that. I am not an attorney. I am not a doctor. I'm not a pulpit preacher. I am a minister of the gospel because I am a Christian. And if you are a Christian too, and Jesus is your Lord, you are also a minister of the gospel. So something else I wanted to mention about the YouTube channel. Oh, so coming soon, I will be adding another channel called the Crafty Silver Fox. So what that will entail is crafts. I'll be talking about crafts, doing tutorials on crafts, might do a little upholstery, some sewing, decorating, and maybe some handy girl stuff. Because when I tell you I can put down a house, I can put down a house. I can show you how to hang some drywall, tape it, float it, texture it, paint it. I can do that. Also, upholstery chair, if I didn't already mention that. Paint. I remember having a young lady to come and help me paint some furniture, and I asked if she could paint. She said, yeah, I can paint. And after she painted the piece that I wanted her to paint, she really couldn't paint. And so a lot of times we can say that we can do something that we really can't. And that's the wonderful thing about YouTube. There's so much on YouTube that you can learn how to do. I didn't know that there was as much stuff on YouTube as there is, but there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. Well, I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I think I touched on all the things that I wanted to touch on, which is very quickly, but I also wanted to mention, say hey to my family, because we just celebrated my Aunt Pearl's 90th birthday. I had an amazing time. Hadn't seen my family in, quite a few years. And so it was really, really good to see everybody. And I hope that we would get an opportunity to do that again. So if y'all are watching, hint, hint, family reunion time, maybe. So I think that might be pretty much it. I guess if I'm looking at the time, it's only been 10 minutes. So I'm going to give you a little bit more than that. So I think some of the other things that I wanted to share, like I said, I would be kind of telling you my story. And I'm not here trying to see how many subscribers I can get and how many people like or dislike this video. What I am here to do is what I've been told to do. So I think I didn't tell you how the YouTube part of it started. So over a year ago, I was at home, and for a couple of days I kept hearing YouTube, 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 to the point that I actually responded out loud saying, I ain't got time for that. And after I answered myself, I said, who you talking to? So then I began to think about that. I said, yeah, there's a little bit more to that than meets the eye for me. So about 2 days later, my son called me, and we just got to talking about the stuff we know how to do and all this kind of stuff. And he says, Mom, you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel? And I just listened, and he said, you know how to do a lot of stuff, and there's you could teach some people, blah 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 blah. I said to him, I said, this is confirmation, because a few days ago I kept hearing YouTube come up in my spirit. And so it's not that I just jumped up and started a YouTube channel, because I didn't. I actually called my daughter to get some information on how you start that. So some time had gone by, and last year, February, my daughter was at her home and I was home, and she was going to show me how to set up the channel from my computer to see what we could see. During that session, we were interrupted by a phone call. A person from New Jersey had called, and I was on the phone with her for a long time, to the point I was like, you don't put me on hold that long. You just say, Mom, can I call you back? So I hung up and sent a text message and said, when you're done, just call me back. So when she called back, she says, Mom, we're not going to be able to finish the video tonight. I have something to tell you. And so I said, yes. And then that's when she told me that someone from New Jersey had called. They had been trying to get in touch with somebody in the family to say that her father was in the hospital in a diabetic coma. So I was given the number to call, and I called and talked. So at that point, everything got put on hold. And a couple of weeks later, he had passed away. So I hadn't touched anything for, YouTube. Not only that, but I was taking care of Grammy. Oh, y'all gonna hear stories about Grammy. Grammy was an elderly lady that I took care of for about a year and a half. And I knew that I wouldn't be able to start a channel with her there, because she was first priority. If I was in the middle of trying to do a video and she called me, it was going to get shut down. So it didn't make sense to start the video at that point. But here, just a couple of months ago, I was helping someone, and I think I can mention this because this ain't no copyrighted stuff. Her name is Tony Long, and she opened a restaurant called Abba's Place here in Texas. I think it's considered Dickinson. Anyway, and the food is really good. Anyway, she had asked me to come and give her a hand with some things. So I went over and did some reupholstery work and just did some other things that I could help her out with. She had a consultant that was helping her with some things. And one day we were sitting at the table, and he was showing me talking about something on the computer. And then he just pops up and says, have you ever thought about doing a YouTube channel? I think you would be good at that. And I just kind of looked up and I said, Lord, you're funny. You're funny. But he was just reminding me of my assignment, what I was supposed to be doing. So I started thinking about it again and getting back involved with it. And then that's when I told my daughter, it's time. And I would like to use your channel, which is Jersey Girl Cozy Niche, my daughter, to introduce the Hidden Woman Within YouTube channel. And we did that a few weeks ago and said that Hidden Woman would debut Tuesday. So I was going to say January, Tuesday, September 27th. And so here I am. No, I'm not doing that bad thing that she do. So don't think my fingers was up for that. So anyway, that's, where the YouTube channel part of it came from. This is all brand new to me. What is not brand new to me is talking, as you can tell. I know, and I will tell you that story um, next week, if not the week before, depending on what I have to share next week about why I do talk so much. And I'll just give you a little snippet. The enemy tried to steal my voice at such an early age, but I got it back, and I'm back. So I think that's about it for tonight, guys. Like I said, this wasn't going to be a very long video. It was just me introducing to you the hidden woman within. If you, your choice. If you like what you hear so far, then do your thumbs up, a thumbs down thing, or whatever you're going to do. You can hit the subscribe button or bell to know when the video is uploaded, and you can hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a video. This is like an ongoing thing. I'll be talking about a lot of stuff, sharing so much that I've learned throughout my life, some experiences that I've had. And I'm going to tell you this quick story. Then we'll go. You know, they say that experience is the best teacher. It's not. Experience is not the best teacher. Experience is a good teacher, but it's not the best teacher. The best teacher is wisdom. As an example, and I used to tell my kids this all the time. If I have gone down the street and fallen in a ditch, broke my leg, and I see you coming, I'm yelling back to you, don't come this way. There's a ditch and you might break your leg. Why some people come run and jump in the doggone ditch with me? Why? Because you need to feel what it's like to have a broken leg. You can't take my word for it. That's the difference between a teacher and wisdom. I don't need to break my leg to know it hurt. If you tell me a broken leg hurt, I got you. So then that means be careful. Don't do anything that might cause you to break your leg. So just take that is not the best teacher. It's experience is not the best teacher. It's a good teacher. The best teacher is wisdom. Learn from somebody that's been there, done that. There's a scripture in the Bible that says they call the older women to teach the younger women. Now, if you take that at face value, you might think old women, young women. But I have learned a lot of things from some young women. Some stuff of what not to do, and some other things of what I could do. So, we're constantly learning, and we don't have to experience all the things that people go through in life to learn from that. If you're still breathing, you should still be learning. Nobody has arrived. And me being here on this channel doesn't mean, oh, I've arrived. Trust me, I have not arrived. I am still learning a lot of things about myself. You think you know yourself, and you always say how you know people. You don't know me. You don't know me. How can I say that? You are much acquainted with me. I got 4 kids. They're all adults, like I said. There's things that I can tell you about my children because they're my children. But there's things that I don't know about them because they all live in their own homes. They have their own lives. They're doing their own thing. So if you were to say to me, tell me something about my son that I don't know anything about, I'd be, I don't know. I was never the mother to say, oh, not my child. I'm like, ain't no telling what they're going to do when I can't see them, when they were growing up. But I don't know my children like that. But I'll say this. The more you talk to a person and spend time with them, you get to know them better. That's like spending time in the Word, spending time in prayer. The more time you spend in the Word and in prayer, the better you get to know the Lord that you serve, if you're a Christian. So there's a lot. There's a lot here. There's a whole lot here. There is, there's a lot here, and I want you to get it. So I can start telling stories and get off on a rabbit trail and get stuck, and I'd be like, what was I talking about? So I'm not going to do that. I just came on to introduce myself and introduce the Hidden Woman Within YouTube channel, and hope that you will join me on this journey of not just getting to know myself better, but there's be some things that I'm talking about that might help you to get you to know yourself better. So with that being said, I'm going to say Thanks for stopping by. I'm so glad we had this time together. I told you I had a sense of humor and I'm going to use it. So I'm so glad that you came by. Tell somebody about the video. There's a lot more content to come that I know is going to be helpful to somebody, because if it wasn't going to be beneficial to somebody, I would never have started the channel. Because I'm trying to tell you, I don't know if you can see those cups back there, and I got some stuff up there. I got stuff everywhere. I got so much stuff I could be doing other than being here on the YouTube channel. But I know that God told me to get on this channel because somebody needs to hear what I have to say. And let me say goodnight by saying this. One person's story is another person's survival guide. I don't know what I'm going to say and who's going to hear it. That's going to make a difference in their life. And child, trust me, when I'm talking, I hear myself talking. So I'm also ministering to myself. By the way, I didn't call this a ministry. This is just a channel. Because if I say ministry, I'm calling all Christians. And I'm not. You don't have to be a Christian to be on this channel. Maybe by the time I'm done, you might be. I don't know. I'm just saying. But just wanted to put that out there for you. So again, my kids would say that's the 45-minute Miller goodbye. When I was a Miller, I used to take 45 minutes to say goodbye. Now I'm in English, so I'm only going to take a few more minutes to say goodbye. So stay blessed, and I'll see you here same time next week. God bless you.